Welcome to MSc Videos. We will continue our discussion on Java programming. So in this session, we are going to discuss one of the key term in Java is a static. So static is a keyword in Java. So static can be used in two different places. One is static field and another one is static method. So in this session, we will discuss what is static field. A class contains a fields and a methods. We know that whenever a field is allocated to a class, then an object is created. For every object, a new set of that field will be created for all those objects. If I am creating 3 fields n1 n2 sum, if I am creating 50 objects, all those 50 objects, this n1 will be allocated separately. So 50 copies of n1 will be available, 50 copies of n2, and similarly 50 copies of sum. So that if object 1 is accessing n1, which will not affect object 2's n1 and which will not affect object 3's n1. So a separate copy will be created for all those objects. But if any field is said to be a static field, only one copy will be created. All the 50 object will access the same copy. So now I am declaring a count variable as a static variable. So static is a keyword. Static, this type of this variable is integer. Name of this variable is count. I am initializing with the value is equivalent to 0. So inside the static field class, I am using one method, init num method. So this method, it's actually a function arguments method. n1 is assigned with a and n2 is assigned with b. And while we are printing this, we are printing sum equal to n1 plus n2. Just we are adding this two values and then I am printing n1, n2 sum as well as count. This is simple two methods are there. Now inside a main function, I am creating a first object for this class. So static field object 1 equal to new static field of. Whenever this object 1 is created, for this object 1, a separate copy of n1, a separate copy of n2, separate copy of sum will be created. But this count will be a single copy. So that object 1 dot count plus plus. Initially the count value is 0. Now the count value is incremented by 1. Then object 1 dot init num of 5 comma 10. So automatically we are calling this particular function. This function a value is 5 and b value is 10. n1 is assigned with 5 and n2 is assigned with 10. Then I am printing this. While you are printing this, n1 equal to 5, n2 equal to 5, sum equal to 15 and count equal to 1. Since initially count equal to 0, it is incremented count value. Now count becomes 1. Now I am creating the second object. Static field object 2 equivalent to new static field of object 2 dot count plus. Since this count is a static field, now the static field value is actually 1. Now it becomes 2. Then I am accessing init num of 15 comma 20. n1 becomes 15, n2 becomes 20, and then sum becomes 35 and count becomes 2. And then I am creating the third object. While we are accessing that object, we are using the class name itself. That is class name is static field dot count plus plus. Now also now the count value is 2. Now it is incremented to 3. Then I am by using the third object, I am accessing the members 25 and 30, and then I am printing that. So if I am executing this program, each and every object will receive a separate copy of n1, n2 as well as n3. Here you see object 1 n1, n2, and then sum value, count value is 1. Object 2 is accessing object 2 15, 20, 35, count value is common, it is 2. n1 is 25, it is 30, 55, and count value is 3. So that a field is said to be a static field. It is common for a class. It is not for an object. It is common for throughout the class. So a static field can be accessed by a class name itself. So we don't need to create any object for this. A static field can be accessed by using a class name itself. So here you see there is some errors are there. So directly we can access any static field by using a class name. So this is the main usage of a static field. Thanks for watching. Keep on visiting my channel. Thank you.